All right, this is COVE Villa number 1. So starting over here, be careful of the edge here. There's definitely a fall hazard associated over here. We need to cut this down, set the female adapter in between the height of that concrete and this, because my guess is they're going to run landscaping up to the height of the sidewalk, so we don't want to be way above it. So somewhere in the middle is fine. Cut that down, put the female adapter on, take the scrap pipe when we're done off. If there's any other plumbing materials along the way, let's make sure we get those cleaned up. We got some all thread, we got some PVC for running the pan line. We got an exterior clean out here. So again, set the female adapter flush with the top of this concrete, get a board or something like that, come across. I would go from down here because you still got the square portion of the cap that's going to stick up. So I would, right here, I would put your actual top threaded on here so your square sticks up a little bit past the landscape and they can still see it. Here, everything here looks good on this. This is all going to have to be insulated. This is going to have to be reworked, so there's 18 inches of hard copper before we transition to PEX right here. So that's going to have to be reworked. What I think is just move that 1.25 inches up. Put your 1.25 inches by 1.5 inch reducer or something like that. Move that down over, and you can put the main ball valve somewhere else, maybe on the copper after the 90 here. Yes, we have to rework it, but we have to do it per code. This is all strapped up pretty well. Make sure everything's tight. I would move this 1 inch to run with these and put them at fall, because you're going to run that pan line down and hit the copper right here going into the floor sink, and you've only got the corner, so you're kind of limiting yourself. There is no fall or back fall on the 1/2 inch and the 3/4, so we need to get that fixed. So let's rework that strapping, make sure it's got fall, and again, use a 2x4, slide it underneath the floor sink, make sure we're good. We'll pick up any extra material or tools. Again, make sure these valves are off. And then if we haven't gotten it yet, it looks like we haven't, we need to make sure we have the 1.25 inch threaded plug here. Need to swap out all these hose clamp straps for the large plastic straps for pipe tightens, because we cannot strap PEX with metal strapping like that. So they've either got to be touchdowns like that, or we can put the big plastic pipe tighten clips on there, but we need to make sure that gets done. Here's a better look. Again, we need to come up here, maybe put the valve there, and then run solid copper up to 18 inches from here. So this looks like 2 or 3 inches. Then if you run this 14 to 16, you'll be good. Then transition to PEX. This is 1.5 inches. That's 1.25 inches. So you're going to have to get an 1.5 inch by 1.25 inch reducer in here, from the 18 inches. And then again, we'll need to insulate all this stuff, make sure we're good, clean out the floor sink, make sure there's not a bunch of debris in there. If we need to get a grate or a cover, let's make sure we get that ordered, and then clean up all our stuff. Female adapter here again. Clean up all our scrap pieces of PEX, because we can still use those. Then also come over here. Looks like the female adapters are done, but personally, this one looks like it's a little high. It's not pushed on, but we do need the female adapter threaded plugs to go in here. I would set both of these clean out at the height of that concrete and be good, because they are going to grade basically from this parking lot down to that one. They've kind of already got the rough grade put in here, so, but they'll probably have landscaping, up to that concrete or a little below it. So that's where we need to be. That's it for this one. Pick up scrap pipe, all that stuff. Let's clean up, because we're on the set out stage. Let's clean up all our other piping materials, all that stuff. Thanks.